Welcome back to Tyler's Trail Rides. Today we're doing a range test on the Taria Trip X. We got a 40 amp battery, a 6.5 kilowatt bike. So the Talaria boys video, they were able to do about 40 miles on eco, 20 miles wide open throttle. This isn't going to be so scientific. So we're already halfway into it, and I don't want to spoil too much, but we're doing good. We're gonna get this back out, get back up this giant hill. There's a bunch of incline and elevation gain that we're gonna be doing. All of it is road riding. If you're new to my videos, remember to leave a like, subscribe, helps the channel out a lot. But let's get back into it. All right, we made it safely to this part. Now we gotta climb up. We had burnt 2% on that straightaway at full throttle, and I'm assuming we're probably going to burn quite a bit more off of this battery as we climb this hill. This was the last time I made a video. I have purchased riding gear because, you know, no matter how good of a rider you are, there's always a chance that something goes wrong. Not necessarily your fault. Maybe the bike fails, maybe someone cuts you off, maybe a deer jumps out in front of you. I prefer to have skin afterwards if I end up sliding across the road. And, you know, even with it being this hot out, as long as I'm moving, I feel completely comfortable with this stuff on. I also feel way more comfortable throwing this into turns and leaning it out. You know, we're not going to be in full throttle the whole time on this journey, but we're not going to be conserving battery. Personally, this is how I like to ride my bikes, and I know a lot of you are like me. You don't commute on this thing, you just take it out just to rip it around and have fun. So you're going to be pushing the bike a little bit. Plus, these bikes aren't made for top speed. If you want something like that, realistically, there's a lot of gas bikes that can do that better, or you have to spend a lot more and dump a bunch of money into these bikes. What these bikes are really good at is throttle response and torque. This is where we're turning in. I know in my last video that I said I'm going to leave this bike stock. That was a total lie. I already have a bunch of goodies coming in, and we're going to have an install video soon. But I wanted to make this video just testing out the range of this in the completely stock form. Not that any of the mods that I have coming in will affect the performance of this bike. It's all just style and comfort, we'll say that. Because I personally am pretty happy with the stock power and speed on this bike. Do I wish it was like a touch faster? Of course. Everybody wants that, but you always have to ask yourself, when is enough? For me, it's the feeling of acceleration that I like. I don't need that super high top end. Stay tuned for the 72 volt swap. are 4 miles in and we are down to 88% already. That being said, we have climbed a good amount of elevation already, and we've been almost wide open throttle the whole time, so can't fault the bike too much. We'll be a little bit more eco through this part, as that's not very exciting anyways. Oh, I love this bike. It's so good. In the video, I know that this bike sounds pretty freaking loud, and in real life, it does make noise, don't get me wrong, but it is relatively quiet compared to a gas-powered bike. Like, you still only really hear this thing as it's coming up on you. It's not like the sound travels far. That being said, I do not feel comfortable bringing this on my local rail trails. I just don't feel like this belongs out there. It's too fast, too loud. I'm gonna keep my E-Cells 5-star as my trail bike. I don't really want to be that guy. Not when I have roads like these that, honestly, I think this bike is better set up for. And that's why we have a full face. I just took a bug straight to the visor. It did disconnect the rear brake sensor. That way I can still throttle and modulate brake without cutting the throttle. I personally see that as safer. I left on the throttle side just in case. I still need a cutoff. I'll still have it. Steep downhill now. So this shouldn't use too much of our motor power. In fact, we're probably going to be using some of our regenerative braking coming down this hill. We'll see if we can get it to actually kick back up with regen. I want to see if this actually puts any meaningful power back into the motor. So right here's the real steep part, and this will burn a lot of our battery on our way back up. This is regen 3. If I click it up to 4, look how powerful this is. We don't even need to use our brakes. Okay, too much. We're at 82%. We're using regen braking. Okay, regen braking just cut out for a second, and now it's back. Scared the shit out of me. Nah, it doesn't look like our percentage bar is coming back up. I really like the regenerative braking, but it's a little inconsistent, which is slightly concerning. The hairpin turn. Doing good. We're at 80%. We've now done 8 miles. And that's a speedo saying that we've done 8 miles. I will check with Relive after the ride to double check that mileage is accurate. super crazy. I'm trying to ride pretty conservatively. It's a little sandy here, I gotta be careful. Alright, we have made it to our destination. Alright, we're gonna check Relive and see how far we went. GPS is accurate. Remember guys, if you're liking this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I do this stuff for you guys. Well, I do it for myself too, I just like riding bikes. But if you're not familiar with the way a Talaria Trip X is started up, first, hit the button. You can code extra keys, this isn't the stock key. Touch to the RFID, hit the red button. And then it's still going to say wait on that screen until you kick up the kickstand. But no key, just an RFID on this bike. Okay. Feels good to be moving again. I'm starting to sweat my ass off by sitting still. My Miata, I usually rip straight through here, but I notice there's sand on the ground, so I don't really want to go too fast and watch out on the sand. Go eco a little bit more up on the straight part. Yeah, this is no problem. We're only down 24%. Definitely gonna lose some on this hill, but we'll have plenty to get home. And it's not that we don't have enough power to get up this hill. We're climbing it at 44, 46, 47. Like, this bike doesn't care about the hills, but if you are ripping it up these hills, you're gonna literally watch your battery percentage drain. Oh boy. Supermotos feel so good in those turns. This is a hairpin. I'm not doing anything fancy here. There's literally fucking dirt on the road. been up some steep inclines, expect to burn your battery pretty quick. But again, we are 10 miles in, 30% of the battery used, and you guys see, I haven't been in eco the entire time, and I've kept the speed pretty much above 35. So planted, but playful at the same time. This bike. Sorry if I'm not talking all that much. I'm just zoning into what this thing's doing. It feels so good. How far are we in? 12 miles in. 66% battery. And again, I've been very brutal to this battery pack. We've been wide open throttle a lot. 40 miles an hour plus a lot. And it is quite hot out today. Like I said, about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So, extreme heat and extreme cool are not the best for these bikes. And, I mean, shout out to the cooling system on the controller and the motor. They do not seem to care that I'm pushing this bike this hard, this long, in this kind of heat. In my mind, that was going to be more of like an intense curve down the hill. The unicycle version of this bike is insane. I don't know how it's so cheap. This red paint job is just so good. Everything's faster when it's painted red, right? Oh, I gotta be careful. Don't get too hard. Catching up the cars. We are at 57% battery. Now we're getting to my least favorite part, getting on the main road. This bike is fast enough. It's a 45-mile-an-hour speed limit. This thing tops out at 53. I just hate sharing high-speed roads with cars when I'm in a bike. Well, in the end, we ended up doing 16 miles, and we used 50% of our battery. I think this is quite good. We were driving pretty aggressively in sport mode, so you could definitely squeeze more range out of this, but I'm pretty impressed with the performance and range on this bike. I do want to thank you all for all the support I've seen lately. My last 2 videos, we've jumped from about 40 subscribers up to around 150. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully I can turn this hobby into something more with your guys' support. Thanks for tuning in. Bye now.